Hey guys, welcome back to my beauty stash, or welcome if it is your first time here. Hello, my name is Steff. I would love to have you as a subscriber, so be sure to click on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching. Today's video is all about green eyeshadow. You guys know I love a nice, good green eyeshadow palette, a good green eyeshadow shade in general, green eyeliner, everything green. I love it. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 green eyeshadow palettes that I currently have in my stash. There's a lot of indie makeup brands in here, and I'm very excited to share these with you. We'll see if we have some of the same palettes in common. And if there's another color that you want me to do the same type of video with, definitely leave it in the comments down below, and I'd be happy to entertain all of those ideas. You guys know green is one of my favorites, so I had to do that first. I am likely also going to be doing a video based off of purple and blue eyeshadow palettes that I currently have in my stash. So if those are some of your favorite colors, definitely stay tuned. Those should be up within the coming weeks. I have a lot going on with my channel right now, a lot of things that I'm planning for. So I am super excited, super excited for this video. And I also love a good green eyeliner. So I'll share a couple of my recommendations of green eyeliners after I get done showing you guys my top 10 green eyeshadow palettes. And this is the look I came up with, an all matte look, if you can believe it. I love shimmer, but today I just thought, you know what, let me just do an all matte look. It's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. And let me know in the comments right now which palette you think I used to achieve today's look. I will be doing a really quick, it's gonna be a quick, no talking, just music tutorial over this look at the end of the video. In case you're curious how I accomplished this look, that will be at the end of the video when I get done with my top 10 palettes. Now, this is not a ranking video. I'm not going to rank them. I think they're all equally fantastic and they all bring something unique to the table. These are just 10 green palettes that I felt were above and beyond all of the rest in my stash. And of course, I will have all of the palettes that are still available linked in the description box of this video, along with all of the makeup and jewelry that I am wearing today. So if you guys want to see my top 10 favorite green eyeshadow palettes currently in my stash and how I got this look right here, keep on watching. Now, once again, these palettes are going to be in no particular order, and a lot of them, I think majority of them, could it be all of them, are indie makeup brands. How cool is that? Let's start first with Juvia's Place. This is a fairly new palette. This was released, I believe, in July of this year, and this is one of the Rebel palettes. This is the Army palette. So you get 2 mattes and 2 shimmer shades. I think this palette is super cute. There was also 3 other Rebel palettes released alongside this one, and they are all available right now on the Ulta Beauty website. I want to say these little palettes retail for like $8 or $10, something along that price point, but I love that we're getting 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. I think that's the perfect combination to create multiple different looks with. I like that one of the matte shades is a deeper green shade. That way you can deepen up your look, make it a little more dramatic. And I think the 2 shimmer shades that they included perfectly complement the mattes that are in this Juvia's Place Rebel the Army palette. Next is a new palette. This was launched about a month ago, and it is from Glamlite. This is the Dirty Martini palette. This is part of their happy hour collection. And here is what this gorgeous palette looks like. So again, we do have a little bit of blue, but this is definitely a green leaning palette. It is more green heavy than anything. Yes, you do get some nice gold shimmer shades in there. You even get like a copper and kind of like a rust shade, but the majority of the palette is green tone. Now I know Glamlite has been having a sale all this weekend, like who hasn't been having a sale? So you might be able to get this at 20 or 25% off. Again, it will be linked in the description box in case you want to check it out. This is a beautiful palette to work with. The matte formula is spot on, and the shimmers, for me, the shimmers, Glamlite just does amazing shimmers. I love them. I've just had such a good time using this palette, and I really do love that they gave us a couple pops of blue in there because I really love blue and green together. So next up is from a brand that I just tried this year. Literally, I just tried this brand like, what, 3 months ago? I'm talking about the By Beauty Bay brand and the Wilderness palette. This was my very first experience with the By Beauty Bay brand, and holy cow. What an amazing palette. Yes, I know we're getting some blues and some reds in here. I did tell you guys that some of the palettes were gonna have a sprinkle of other shades as well, but I think this palette has some amazing green shades, and you could definitely do all green looks with just pops of blue or pops of yellow, pops of red. I love this palette so, so much. It retails for $20. I believe it is still in stock on the Beauty Bay website. Totally pick this palette up. You will not regret this purchase. The matte shades are incredibly pigmented and they blend out so well. The shimmer shades are just out of this world. You talk about an amazing first impression right here. The By Beauty Bay brand with this Wilderness palette. Oh my God, this has to be in your stash. So next up is a palette that I think might be the only one that is not available, and I'm talking about BH Pistachio Palette. This is from the Sweet Shop collection. I know they brought back the collection earlier this year. I want to say it was during the summer, and this was restocked, but I think it has since sold out again. So if you're able to find this floating around somewhere, I do know Beauty Bay carries BH Cosmetics, so those of you across the pond, you might want to check Beauty Bay out to see if this is in stock. However, I do think it is pretty much sold out. This was a very popular green eyeshadow palette, and with very good reason. This is a fantastic palette from BH Cosmetics. You get 4 matte shades and you get 4 shimmer shades at the top. You get a nice range of tones in here. You go from light to dark. Even with the shimmer shades, I think they just perfectly complement the matte shades. BH Cosmetics for me has always done really good shimmer shades, and this palette is no different. If you can find this floating around somewhere, I highly recommend checking it out. And if other Sweet Shop palettes are available and you haven't tried them yet, let me tell you, they are definitely worth picking up. The quality of this palette, and I want to say it's only 20 bucks, is impeccable. You won't regret this purchase and you will get a lot of use out of it. Next up is another palette from BH Cosmetics. Now, I would recommend checking this one out if you can't find the Pistachio palette. I'm talking about this one. This is from the Poison Shot collection that was part of the Halloween release for BH Cosmetics. This one is called the Absinthe eyeshadow palette, and it is a 9-pan green eyeshadow palette. In here, you only get 3 matte shades, which are the ones at the top. The rest are very pretty shimmer shades. Now, I've done a video where I created looks using all 6 of the Poison Shot palettes. And guys, any video that I have using the palettes that I'm talking about, I will have it linked in the description box right underneath the link to where you can shop the palette. So in case you want to check those videos out, I've used it a few times since and I love it. It's a really nice palette. Guys, that entire Poison Shot collection was pretty decent. I think there was maybe just one palette I was like, iffy on, but the rest were really good. And this one I think was in my top 3 because I did rank those palettes, and it's just a good one. It's a nice little green eyeshadow palette. It says Seen Visions up here, and it was just something cute for Halloween, but you definitely don't need to reserve it for Halloween. Green eyeshadow is for all year long, and this was a really good release from BH Cosmetics. Now let's talk about Colourpop. This is the Tinkerbell palette. It says Sprinkle a Little Magic. This was released about, 2 months ago, I think. You do get a mirror with this one. This is a beautiful palette. And if you can pick up the 3 Super Shock shadows that were released in this collection, I'd highly recommend checking them out because one of them is a really pretty bright green. I think that's something I want to get. I got the bundle that included the palette and the 3 Super Shock blushes. This is a really nice palette. The shadows performed really great, and there's just a lot of versatility with this palette. You can see that it is more on the lighter side of palettes. The matte green right here, this is the deepest shade, but I'm glad they gave us this option to where if we want to deepen up the looks, we can, or if we want to keep it a nice, fun, airy type of look, we most certainly can with the shades that are in here. Again, that Super Shock green shadow that accompanies this collection, it is a bright green and it's like the perfect companion to this palette. I love it. I think it's a cute palette. I keep it on display in my beauty room, and this was a good release from Colourpop. Now let's go back to BH Cosmetics and let's talk about Avocado Toast. This was released last year. This is part of the Weekend Vibes collection. This eyeshadow palette is gorgeous. Again, we do have the sprinkling of some other shades in there as well, just to give it some diversity, but it is a predominantly green eyeshadow palette. This is an amazing formula from BH Cosmetics. To me, this palette is definitely more of the grungy greens versus the Absinthe palette and the Pistachio palette. Those are more bright greens. This is a nice one all year round. I can definitely see this being a really nice fall palette into spring eyeshadow palette. The shimmers are fabulous, as are the matte shades. I just love the variance in shades that they gave us. I like that there's a little pop of teal down here and some light pink peach shades at the top. Perfect palette to use all year round. Next, let's go back to Colourpop with this cutie right here. This is probably one of the cutest palettes, and I did do a video last week showing you guys the cutest palettes that I currently have in my stash. This is definitely one of them. This is the Star Wars, the Mandalorian eyeshadow palette, and this is a very cute color story. If green is maybe not your thing, but you kind of want to start playing with green eyeshadow, this would be a pretty fantastic place to start. Now, Colourpop did release this new palette that accompanies this Mandalorian collection. I didn't pick that one up. Those shades just weren't speaking to me, but this palette would definitely make a good companion to this palette. So if you want to start dabbling in green eyeshadows, this would be a really good place to start. You do have a couple of brown and tan shades in there. You do have the two different gold shimmer shades in here as well, to where if you didn't want to create a green look, you could definitely just do a brown look and call it a day. But this is a good eyeshadow palette for those of you who love neutral shades, but maybe just want to start incorporating a pop of green. I would highly recommend picking this one up. So I have two eyeshadow palettes left, and one of them is the one I used to create this look. Keep guessing, keep thinking what I haven't showed yet. This next eyeshadow palette is the newest in my stash, and I just did a video over this about a week ago, and this is the one from Milan, Rowe, and Doodles by the Bunny. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Doodles by the Bunny, her real name is Angela. She has the most amazing Instagram page, and she dreams up these like Urban Decay palettes, Too Faced palettes, Huda palettes, and she does color stories and cover art that she would love to see the brands do. I really wish that some of these brands would look at her Instagram account, because the color stories that she's creating for these fictitious palettes are out of this world. Like, I would totally buy all of the palettes if the brands would release the color stories the way she's creating them. You have to check her out. I will have her Instagram linked in the description box of this video, but I was so happy to see her collaborating on her very own eyeshadow palette. To my knowledge, this is the first palette that she's ever done, and of course, she had to do a green one, and this is gorgeous. This was my very first experience with Milan Rowe makeup. This is an indie brand out of Miami, Florida, and this is just a gorgeous palette. Again, you do have the sprinkling of some blue and a red shade in there, but this is definitely a green lover's palette. The matte shades are beautiful, as are the shimmer shades. I encountered zero issues with the performance of this palette. I think it's just beautiful. And if you're looking to maybe add a new green eyeshadow palette to your stash and you want to try a new indie makeup brand, look here to the Milan Rowe and Doodles by the Bunny collaboration. This is the Poison Ivy palette. I love the cover art on it, and I love that this is a collaboration with one of my favorite people on Instagram. All right, guys, we have one palette left. Let's see if you all guessed right. This is the palette that I currently have on my eyes, and it is this one from Ace Beaute. This is the new Tropical Vibes eyeshadow palette. Wow. This was my first time trying the new revamped formula from Ace Beaute, and this is fantastic. Oh my goodness, guys. Definitely add this to your stash. I believe it is currently out of stock, but when it comes back in stock, because it most definitely is, I will let you guys know, and I really think this is worth checking out. Now, Ace Beaute recently reformulated all of their eyeshadow palettes. So they re-released all of them with this new formula. I haven't tried some of those other palettes. I've tried their old formula, which was, it was okay. It was just fine. And then this is the only one I've tried of the new formula. This, by far, is a really good green eyeshadow palette. You have grungy tones in here. You have bright tones in here. There's even a couple pops of blue in here. You do get a rust shade down there. I love it. This is predominantly a matte heavy eyeshadow palette, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to create an all matte look. You guys know I always do shimmers on the lid, shimmers on the inner corner. I rarely do all matte looks, and I wanted to do it with this palette. I felt if I was going to do it with any of the green palettes, this was going to be the one to do it with. And I like the way this look came out. And it was easy to achieve this look because the matte shades blend out effortlessly. I hope this comes back in stock really, really soon. This is definitely one, if you love green eyeshadow, this has to make it into your stash. Now I want to quickly share with you some green eyeliners that I usually use when I'm using green eyeshadow palettes. These first two are from Colourpop. Now this one is their cream gel liner, and this one is in the shade Aglow. This was part of the Lush Life collection, and it was sold in a trio of eyeliners. I don't know if they've restocked this one. I'm hoping that they do, because this is a really pretty green eyeliner. It's kind of like a shimmer eyeliner, and I use this quite a bit in my lower waterline. Then we have the liquid eyeliner. This one is in the shade The Hills. This one is in stock. I know they have this one, and they have this one also on Ulta Beauty. There it is right there. Now the one that I have on today is this one from LA Girl. This is their Neon Shockwave eyeliner. This one is in the shade Gotcha. This is the one I have on in the lower waterline. I use this one quite a bit as well. Another LA Girl Shockwave liner. This one is in the shade Dragon. This one is a little more of like a teal. Still really, really pretty. These eyeliners are like $3 or $4. Then I pulled out this one from e.l.f. and this is from the Mint Melt collection. It's their No Budge Shadow Stick, and this one is in the shade Mint For You. You can see that one there. Really, really nice shade. I do believe this one is in stock as well. And then I pulled out this one from NYX. This is the NYX Epic Wear liner. This one is in the shade All Time Olive. This is a beautiful green gold shade. And last but not least, I pulled out this liquid liner from Flower Beauty. This is the Liquid Kajal Blendable Eyeliner, and this one is in the shade Jaded. And there you can see what Jaded looks like. So here are some good green eyeliners to consider adding to your stash, and they're all affordable. I think they're all drugstore minus the Colourpop. But these are typically the green eyeliners that I use to complement my green eyeshadow looks and the palettes that I showed you guys today. Now let me show you this quick tutorial on how I achieved today's look, and then I'll wrap up today's video. This video of me sharing with you the top 10 green eyeshadow palettes that I currently have in my stash, and also giving you some green eyeliner recommendations, of course the quick tutorial over this look. And let me know in the comments, what are some of your favorite green eyeshadow palettes? I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated guys, drink your water, cheers, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!